এই বিশেষ অনুষ্ঠানে আমরা সেই মহিলাদের নিয়ে কথা বলি, সেই মহিলাদের সঙ্গে কথা বলি যারা জীবনে সাফল্য অর্জন করেছেন এবং যাদের সাফল্য আমাদের প্রতি মুহূর্তে অনুপ্রাণিত করে, যারা এগিয়ে গেছেন অনেক দূর এবং যাদের দেখে, যাদের গল্প শুনে আমরাও অনুপ্রাণিত হই আরও একবার চেষ্টা করার, আরও ভালোভাবে চেষ্টা করে যাতে আমরাও সাফল্যের পথে এগিয়ে যেতে পারি। এইরকমই একজন মহিলা, একজন অ্যাচিভার, উইমেন অ্যাচিভার আমাদের সঙ্গে আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানে রয়েছেন। আমি অত্যন্ত আনন্দের সঙ্গে আপনাদের সঙ্গে পরিচয় করাতে চাইব। দূরদর্শনের পর্দায় প্রথমবার আমাদের সঙ্গে রয়েছেন এই রাজ্যের প্রথম মহিলা বিদ্যালয় শিক্ষা অধিকর্তা তথা সবচেয়ে কম বয়সী বিদ্যালয় শিক্ষা অধিকর্তা শ্রীমতী চাঁদনী চন্দ্রন। ম্যাম, দূরদর্শনের পর্দায় প্রথমবার আপনি এসেছেন, আপনাকে স্বাগত।
অনেক ধন্যবাদ।
इट्स अ प्लेजर टू हैव यू इन द स्टूडियो। मैम, पहले शुरुआत से ही शुरुआत करते हैं। प्लीज टेल अस समथिंग अबाउट योर बैकग्राउंड, योर फैमिली, योर अपब्रिंगिंग।
सो आई बिलोंग टू केरला। मेरा घर केरला में एक गांव में है और माय पेरेंट्स वर गवर्नमेंट सर्वेंट्स। दोनों एलडी क्लर्क काम करते थे गवर्नमेंट ऑफ केरला में। और मेरा बचपन तो नॉर्मल ही था, आसपास का स्कूल में ही पढ़ाई किया था। और मेरा एक भाई भी है, छोटा भाई भी है।
Ma'am, as you said, you studied in different schools in and around. Have you been a very brilliant student?
No, unfortunately, I was not a very good student. I mean, you might assume that I would have been a topper from class 1, but I was not. I was a very average student. In my childhood, I can honestly tell you that nobody would have expected that I would become an IAS officer in future, because my interests were very varied. Till 3rd standard, I was a below average student in class, not doing much. Then 3rd standard, 4th standard, I started taking extreme interest in co-curricular activities. So that was one positive that I had in my school life. I used to represent my school in different competitions, elocution ho, essay writing ho, anything, drama, all aspects I used to
पढ़ाई छोड़ के कुछ भी?
पढ़ाई छोड़ के कुछ भी करती थी. It's not that I was bad in studies, I was average in studies. So
but you have been an all-rounder.
Yeah, you can say that, I think.
দর্শক বন্ধুরা, আপনাদের বিশেষ করে একটু বলি, ম্যাম যে কথাটা বললেন, উনি একজন আইএএস আধিকারিক। আমাদের দেশের সর্বোচ্চ যে ক্যাডার আমরা বলি, হোয়াইট কলার জব, সেখানে উনি রয়েছেন। কিন্তু উনি যেটা বললেন, ওনার শুরুর দিনগুলোতে উনি কিন্তু টপারদের মধ্যে ছিলেন না। প্রতি বছরই যারা ক্লাসে ফার্স্ট সেকেন্ড হয় তাদের মধ্যে ছিলেন না। আমি বিশেষ করে যে বাবা মায়েরা প্রোগ্রামটা দেখছেন, আপনাদের বলবো, আমাদের ঘরে যে ছেলে মেয়েরা রয়েছে, আসুন আমরা এই কথাটা ওদেরও বলি যে তুমি প্রতি বছর ক্লাসে ফার্স্ট বা সেকেন্ড না হলেও তুমি কিন্তু সর্বোচ্চ পর্যায়ে পৌঁছে যেতে পারো যদি তোমার উৎসাহ থাকে এবং আগ্রহ থাকে। আমরা জানবো এই বিষয়ে আরও ওনার। ম্যাম, you had varied interest. You had interest in co-curricular activities also. I'll come to that later. But you have been an inspiration for many of us. But who was or who is your inspiration to become Chandni Chandran, the IAS officer?
So for IAS or many other aspects in my life, I took inspiration from my father. It's not anyone celebrity or a leader. So in my house itself, I could see great things happening. You know, normally people say when you go to government service, you are not providing job to people. Entrepreneurs give job to people.
Right.
So you are, not doing any great service to the society. So my father was an LD clerk in industries department. And he rose from there to different positions. But even at the beginning of his career, he used to help people to start their enterprises like anything. He would make business plans for them. He would stay up at night, make business plans for them. He would go with them to the bank to help them get loans from the bank. So I have grown up seeing what transformation people in government, if they want, can bring to the society. तो जैसे जो लोग सक्सेसफुल होते थे इन एंटरप्राइजेस, वो लोग घर पे आते थे, दे वुड टेल अस कि आपका बाबा के वजह से हमें ये शुरू करने के लिए मौका मिला और एक्सपैंड करने के लिए मौका मिला. हमारा बिजनेस फेल हो रहे थे, उन्होंने हेल्प किया. तो listening to that, I started having this, calling that to serve the society. You can be a government servant and you can create a lot of entrepreneurs, create a lot of winners in life. So that was my first inspiration to think of government service. And especially with respect to IAS, that also my father played a huge role. When he was working in industries department in his younger days, he was given a show cause memo by the director, the then director, when he started his work. He was an IAS officer. So that show cause memo he has kept with him till now. He has retired also, but he keeps checking that because he says that man show caused me, called me to his office and inspired me and told me that I can do better than what I was doing. So then I realized my potential and I started working to match his expectations. So from his words, I could feel that IAS officer is someone who is very big, who can inspire a lot of people, to reach their highest potential. So that I think was one incident that motivated me a lot.
So that small showcase letter made the big difference in your life.
Yeah, I would say that. He used to show me that sign, and then the officer's name was Paul Anthony. He is also a retired IAS officer from Kerala. So he would show that to me, and he would talk about it like he was everything. Yes, you look at this signature. This is how IAS officers sign. This is how they talk to people. This is how they should inspire people. So that has created a lot of interest in me.
Papa must be very proud of his daughter nowadays.
Yeah,
You have become
I
an
hope
IAS
so.
officer.
Yes, he
A
is
proud
very
father.
Yes.
Ma'am, you said you are not a very brilliant student. You have been an average student, and most of us are average students. But every average student can't become an IAS officer. So, where did your flight took off? कब आपको लगा कि नहीं चलो आप उड़ान भरते हैं? When your life took a U-turn and you have moved towards that preparation for IAS, मुझे बनना है कुछ ऐसा कुछ. Having dream is one thing, and putting your hard efforts for that particular dream is a different thing. When you started going for midnight lamps, कि नहीं मुझे बनना है कुछ IAS officer.
So that was after my 10th standard. So after 10th standard, when I started thinking about what I should do in my career, so if I should take science, or my mother wanted me to be a doctor, so biology, computer science. So I was thinking about what options to take and what careers to do, and then I attended a few career guidance programs also. So one of the career counselors told me, like, you are not looking into yourself, you are not trying to find out your aptitude. You are someone who can speak well, you are someone who can write well, you are someone who can lead well. Should you dream about being a doctor? What is it that you actually wanted to do? So after 10th standard, I started thinking quite a lot about what I should do and what career path I should take. And then this dream came back to me. So when I went to college, I studied in IIT Madras. So at that time, I had some second thoughts. I wanted to go to academics, but somehow this dream did not leave me. It kept on telling me that, but this is what suits you more.
There are bigger goals for you.
Bigger or smaller, but I do not judge anyone higher because they are in one profession, because there are brilliant academicians who have made extreme good contributions to the society. So,
ma'am, it seems to me that you have been having a desire to work for the people, to make others' life easier. So now, if you are an IAS officer, you are working as an implementing tool for different various government schemes, projects. So is there any project which you find very close to your heart, which you would like to share with us? कोई एक ऐसा scheme जो आपके दिल के बहुत ही करीब हो?
So the scheme that I have been part of implementing, or
डजेंट मैटर, जो आपके दिल के सबसे करीब हो लड़कियों के लिए, कि जैसे कोई जो आपको लग रही है ये सबसे अच्छा स्कीम है, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगता है, ऐसा कुछ?
लड़कियों के लिए नहीं है. When I started my career and I was SDM of Kanchanpur, that is the time that they had started the brewery settlement project.
Right.
So that was the first big project that I had, you know, the opportunity to start implementing, because the day it was signed in Delhi, the very next day I was transferred to that place.
Achha.
So from the initial period, from the survey phase, I was there. So I keep checking on what has happened, what the progress about it is, and that is very close to my heart. The first batch of people who left from their, you know, camps, and they went to their actual resettlement places, some of them were crying. So the happiness of those people is something that I would never forget.
That touched your heart.
Yeah, that has definitely touched my heart. And then when it comes to women, there are so many schemes which are close to my heart. I would say 33% reservation for women in local self-government. It has created so many leaders. Earlier, when the scheme started, we were only seeing Pradhan Patis. But now we see very powerful women in leadership role. And politics is one of the very most male-dominated professions in India. So we see people who are successful there because of the 33% reservation. And we also see SHG movement, which has created income for women and made them financially independent to pursue their dreams. And there are schemes like Suganya Samriddhi Yojana, which has helped in extending the date of marriage for women,
yes,
which itself is a huge thing. They are able to complete their studies at least till 12th standard, because, you know, they are awaiting that money from Suganya Samriddhi
Right.
Yojana. So those things are very close to my heart.
Ma'am, you said self-help groups are doing very good. The people are getting self-sufficient. How important you find that if a lady, we call them the backbone of the family, if the lady, the women folk of the family, if they are financially empowered or independent, how or what change does it bring to the society?
So it might be a cliche to say, but still I will repeat that, you know, if a woman has income, she will, the chances that she will spend it on the utmost priorities of house is more evident. So men has a habit of maybe drinking, smoking, going for movies, and wasting money in one way or the other. But when women become financially independent, that is visible in her children, in the next generation. Or I have had a maid who used to work in my house only because she wanted to have 2 more teachers for her son.
Wow,
So
that's great.
yeah, so they have values which are outside the personal realm. They think about
The whole family.
all family at most priorities in a better way than men, I would say. And not just because of that, when you are a housewife and you are not earning, your opinions are not valued in the
Right.
society. You have to beg to your husband for every single
Every
need
single
that you
correct,
have.
yeah.
So independence, financial independence is at most important for women. I would say if you have health and financial independence,
You have everything.
you have everything.
I would like to add one thing. What about the education of the girls or the ladies of the family? Because you are involved in educational department, so what is your light on that point? लोग कहते हैं कि नहीं, बेटियों को पढ़ाई बहुत जरूरी है. आपको क्या लगता है?
Definitely, I don't think we should be even debating that topic, because for everyone, every person, education is of most. I mean, that is what helps them for empowerment, right? That is what leads them to the empowerment. So you cannot make a gender distinction in education. But as director school education in Tripura, I feel very happy that Tripura is one of the few states, actually only 2 states, which has higher girls enrolled in schools than boys. At least in the primary level, we have more girls in our schools than boys. So that is a welcome trend here.
Right. And ma'am, you have quoted earlier also, you have been very involved in co-curricular activities. So though you belong to education department, but what is you are having for the students beyond the syllabus? Do you have any plans, any special ideas so that they become an all-rounder as you were? पढ़ाई के बाहर कुछ करने के लिए कैसा उसको मतलब how we could inspire students so that they वो भी उड़ान भरे आप जैसा.
So there are a lot of initiatives that the government is taking for that. Under Samagra Shiksha, we have Kala Utsav, which is one part, where students from different districts compete with each other. So in one scheme that I had the privilege of being a part of drafting, which is Mission 100 Vidya Jyoti.
Correct.
In that, co-curricular activities have been kept at the core of education, because there every school will be provided funds to have teachers in art, music and co-curricular activities, and compulsorily students have to take part in at least one. The same with sports. So, and there is also a provision of conducting annual cultural event and annual sports events for Vidya Jyoti schools. So whenever I get an opportunity, I make sure that it is given the priority that it needs.
Fine. Ma'am, one thing more. So for the all-round development of the students are concerned, so one part is education, one part is co-curricular activities. You have told about the co-curricular activities. Is there any special drive the department is taking to make the education part more interesting?
Yes, definitely, because activity-based education is one of the core pillars of national education policy. When we are implementing NEP, it should not be rote learning. Students should not be made to find that learning is a process which is not interesting. If you go to the pre-primary classes newly started by Department of School Education, you will see that the classes barely look like the classes what we would imagine. There are round tables where children sit and play. There is a corner with full of activity-based things.
Right.
And workbooks are being given to make sure that they are creatively thinking and doing activities on their own. So in Nipun Bharat scheme also there is an aspect of wellness in schools. So that wellness is not just in health aspects, it is also aimed at making education a happy process. We want to make schools a happy place for children.
And you are looking towards a holistic development.
Holistic development, yes.
দর্শক বন্ধুরা যারা অনুষ্ঠানটা দেখছেন, আমি আবার দুটো কথা রিপিট করব। ম্যাম যেটা বললেন, এক, বাড়ির মেয়েদের শিক্ষার দিকটা উনি খুব গুরুত্ব দিয়েছেন। পাশাপাশি উনি আমাদের রাজ্যের স্বসহায়ক দলগুলোর কথা বলেছেন, বিশেষ করে বলেছেন সেই মহিলাদের কথা যারা আর্থিকভাবে স্বাবলম্বী হচ্ছেন বা হওয়ার চেষ্টা করছেন। উনি বললেন যে যখন মহিলারা স্বাবলম্বী হন, মহিলারা উপার্জন শুরু করেন, তখন তাতে গোটা পরিবারের উন্নতি হয়, গোটা পরিবার তাতে উপকৃত হয়। আর পাশাপাশি উনি আরও একটা কথা যেটা বললেন সেটা হচ্ছে বিদ্যাজ্যোতি স্কুল বা অন্যান্য আমাদের রাজ্যের বিভিন্ন স্কুলে এখন পড়াশুনোর পাশাপাশি ছেলে মেয়েদের একটা গোটা সম্পূর্ণভাবে বিকশিত করার লক্ষ্যে অনেকগুলো পদক্ষেপ নেওয়া হচ্ছে। পড়াশুনোর বাইরেও ওরা যাতে খেলাধুলো, গান বাজনা বিভিন্ন ব্যাপারে উৎসাহী হয়, এগিয়ে আসে, তাতে ওদের একটা যেটা বলে অলরাউন্ড ডেভেলপমেন্ট সেটা হবে। আপনারা দয়া করে ওদের একটু উৎসাহ দেবেন এবং এই যে প্রকল্পগুলো ম্যাম বললেন যে গভর্নমেন্ট নিয়েছে এগুলো যাতে আরও এগিয়ে আসে, আরও ভালো হয়, তাতে আপনারা একটু সহায়তা করবেন। ম্যাম, কামিং ব্যাক টু ইউ, ইউ হ্যাভ বিন ওয়ার্কিং ইন, as you told, in a government atmosphere for long. So when you are working with your colleagues, do you find any sort of gender inequality in that? What is your concept of gender equality, especially in the workplace?
So I would be lying if say that if there is 100% gender equality in the workplace. So workplace is also a part of society. The biases that you see in the society are also visible in workplace. Even when you are an officer at highest level, there are some times when you feel that why are you being discriminated? To give simple examples, when we would be going on these raids for this cannabis plantations, there will be at least one male officer who would ask, "Kya ma'am chal payega?" So I would want to say, I am a woman, I am not, unable
You are
to
not
walk.
weak.
Yeah, I am
W
not
for
weak.
women, not weak.
Not weak. So that is one thing. And in the workplace, the kind of activities that are being given to you, that also varies with your gender. If you look at some departments, you will see that they always have, they have higher proportion of having a woman or as director or secretary. So there are some departments where there is 100% male dominance, to say so. So while division of work in little instances, there are some sort of biases which creep in, which as women we feel sometimes we feel intimidated that we are the only women in the entire room, and they are making a sexist joke. So you are sitting there and you are feeling uncomfortable. So those things have happened every now and then, but it is not a normal thing. We have gone into a way that these are exceptions that we have to face once in a while, not that your workplace is sexist every day. So there are men who are accommodative, there are men who support you, respect you, and do not show any difference. They look at you as an officer, not as a woman officer or a male officer.
And we have seen especially our IPS officers, the lady officers, they are doing exceptionally well. They are battling hard, they are moving ahead, they are leading the teams, and they are doing a wonderful job. And our salute to those officers especially. Ma'am, as you have said, the inequality has become an exception. It is not a very regular case, and you have learned how to take them into your stride.
Yes, definitely. Because you will learn to live with it. You will learn to give replies. You will learn how to respond to it.
Maybe how to ignore.
How to ignore also, because you cannot
rule of the
fight
jungle.
all battles.
You have
right?
learned.
Yes.
Fine. Ma'am, what is the importance, or how much importance is there while you are working as a team? टीमवर्क आपके लिए कितने मायने रखता है? एक साथ काम करना, हाथ में हाथ, चाहे आप मर्द हो औरत हो, लेकिन एक साथ कंधे से कंधे मिला के going for accomplishment of a project. How do you look at that?
So fortunately, I have had brilliant teams. I have never felt insecure inside my own team, whether it be in education or the subdivisions I have worked in. Everywhere I have had teams which were cooperating pretty well and not giving me any, it's about you establishing the fact that you are capable. That is one thing that women have to do extra than men. You have to establish your credibility, you have to establish that you are also capable, and after that it's a smooth flow.
If I ask you to find one special quality in men especially you admire the most, कोई ऐसी बात हो जो आपको लगे नहीं, this is very something appreciable?
So not just in men,
I am asking in men.
Specifically in men.
Just like as you have worked as a team, sometimes अरे इनका ये बहुत अच्छा लगा मुझे. That you said if we are showing respect to the ladies, that is something stands alone.
Yeah, I mean men who respect women is definitely someone who deserves more respect. And at the same time, there are a lot of other qualities also. So I'm not able to really choose one from one and specifically point out.
But again, we expect that we should be respectful to the ladies and vice versa as well.
Yes, you should be respectful. You should be accommodative of the differences as well. Gender equality is not assuming that men and women are the same. They are different in some aspects, they are same in some aspects, and there are sometimes when you have to be accommodative of that differences and maybe provide a little bit more, or it depends on the situation, and there are times when you require help and
Yes.
the women officer would be there to help you out. So that kind of camaraderie in workspace should be respected.
At the end of the day, we are human beings and we have to take them as human beings as well. That's
Yeah,
it.
yeah, yeah.
Ma'am, it is said that if you don't stand for something in life, you could fall for anything in life. So, do you agree with that? In life, we have to stand for something. We should have some principles. We should fight for. नहीं ये सही है तो मुझे लड़ना है इसके लिए ऐसा कुछ.
You should definitely have principles in life, because then whatever you do becomes a part of yourself. Whatever you can ignore, whatever you can commit, that is something that becomes a part of you. So unless you do not have strong principles, you will end up doing a lot of things that you would regret in your life, which will become a part of you later on. So I strongly believe that every person should have principles, but it is also true that you cannot fight all the battles. You have to choose your battles wisely. You have to choose what are the things that you can tolerate, what are the things that you cannot tolerate, and whatever you have, whatever principles you keep close to your heart, you have to make sure that you are not compromising on those.
Fine. Ma'am, I have seen you have signed in few cases in Bengali. So how does it feel when you sign in Bengali? Most of the people of the state, they like that thing. Ma'am is signing in Bengali. It's so beautiful.
So Bengali we had to read and learn because of coming to Tripura, but it's one beautiful language. The way it is spoken, the way it is written, I have this strong love for the language. So whenever I get an opportunity, I do like to sign in Bengali, and I can read newspapers also, Bengali also. But when I speak, I get very conscious.
It's very commendable that you have started learning Bengali. Ma'am, so far learning is concerned, you did your BTech from IIT.
No, I did integrated masters from IIT Madras.
Then you have started preparing for IAS.
Yes.
How long was the preparation? Just for the students who are sitting the next side.
Okay. So I passed out in 2014. So 2014, right when I passed out, I gave the exam once without much preparation. I wanted to know how it is. I wanted to see if I have
पानी
it,
कितना
what
गहरा
it
है?
takes. हाँ, कितना गहरा है. So I wrote the preliminary exam, but I couldn't clear it. But I was very close. I had, if I had prepared for 2-3 months, I thought I could have
Could
cleared
have cleared,
it.
right.
So then that was my first attempt, not a serious one, but in 2015 I gave my proper first attempt, where I went till I cleared prelims, cleared mains, and I went till the interview stage. So that was my first serious attempt, and I was right out of IIT. So I had huge confidence that I'll be clearing the exam that year, because I had given my best. I had worked really hard. I was topping exams in the coaching institutes, and I was all set to clear. So when the results came, it was like a blow to me. I didn't make it. My interview was very good. Marks of mains, you have no idea. So civil service final result is marks in the mains examination plus your interview marks. So that time when I was looking at the PDF which had the result, and then I typed my name and I pressed enter, that sound ting which says your name is not there, it is like your heart stopping for a moment, because you have given everything you had for the exam. And so that had a huge negative impact on me, that failure. But I was able to rise above that. The issue with civil service examination is that if you fail in the interview stage, the next prelims is 3 weeks later. You don't really get much time to prepare for it. You don't get much time to cope up with the failure. So I think that is one test of this exam, that tests your personality.
रोने का time ही नहीं मिला.
रोने का time नहीं मिलता है. You have to start preparing. You have to start revising. You have done it once. You have studied everything once, so you have to revise.
Just
and then
brush
you
up and go
brush up and go to the exam. So that attempt I made it. So yeah, so it is my third attempt and second serious attempt.
দর্শক বন্ধুরা যারা এই অনুষ্ঠানটা দেখছেন, আমি দুটো কথা আবার আপনাদের রিপিট করব। ম্যাম যেটা বলেছেন, আমরা অনেক সময় হয় একটা পরীক্ষা দিই, পরীক্ষাতে ভালো না হলে মন খারাপ হয়ে আমরা আর চেষ্টাই করি না। উনি কিন্তু সবার সামনে অন ক্যামেরা বললেন উনি প্রথমবার পরীক্ষা দিয়েছেন, প্রস্তুতি তেমন ছিল না, উনি খুব ভালো করতে পারেননি। পরের বছর আমরা বলি চেষ্টা করে যাও, উনি পরের বছর আবার চেষ্টা করেছেন। এবার কিন্তু উনি খুব সিরিয়াস প্রিপারেশন নিয়েছিলেন এবং উনি শিওর ছিলেন উনি প্রায় সিলেক্ট হয়েই যাবেন, তারপরও ওনার সিলেকশন হয়নি। সাধারণত আমরা এরকম চেষ্টা করে যদি ব্যর্থ হই, আমরা কিন্তু আর চেষ্টাই করি না। উনি ওইখানে থেমে গেলে আজকে কিন্তু আমরা এই চেয়ারে ওনাকে পেতাম না। উনি তারপরের বার আবার চেষ্টা করেছেন, অ্যান্ড শি কেম আউট উইথ ফ্লাইং কালার্স। তাই আজকে আমাদের সঙ্গে বসে আছেন একজন IAS আধিকারিক শ্রীমতী চাঁদনি চন্দ্রন। ম্যাম, থ্যাংক ইউ very much for not stopping your trying. मतलब लोग कहते हैं ना कि आप कोशिश करते रहोगे तो आपको कुछ ना कुछ मिल ही जाएगा, तो you are an living example. Ma'am, I have another question. What is your definition of success?
For me, success is not an event. Success is some sort of a journey that you undertake. It is just because I cleared an exam, I will not call myself successful, because that is just beginning of a challenge. Every day you face multiple situations. Every day you succeed or fail in different activities.
Especially when you are in a public service.
When you are in public service, when you are in social sector, some days are very bleak. When you feel that whatever you are giving is not giving you any results, your inputs are not giving results, and there are some days where you feel extremely joyous because you see some impact of what you have done. So life is full of small successes and a lot of failures, and where keeping failures in its stride is also a success. Your ability to accept that you can fail, and that is okay, but you will succeed one day. That is also success.
Just about connecting dots to dots.
Yes.
Ma'am, you have defined success wonderfully, but what is the role of the family behind women's success?
Society has put a lot of restrictions on women. When you are preparing for civil service, you are crossing 1 year after another. Every exam is a cycle of 1.5 years. It's not even 1 year, it is the result ko leke it is 1.5 years. So from society there will be a lot of pressure on the parents. She is preparing, ek baar bhi nahi hua, dusre baar bhi nahi hua, why are you making her do that again?
बिठा के क्यों रखते हो घर पे?
Exactly. She can get a job and she can get married, and you have to have a child before you are 30. You have to get married before you are 25. So society has given a lot of restrictions on women's conduct, and they have kept brackets on women's dreams. But when the family gives you full support, you are embarking on a journey where you are also tensed about the outcome. So when you do not have the support of family even, how will you succeed?
Right.
So for women's success, family plays a much bigger role than that of men, because they have to fight the society to do that, to support their own daughters. That is the sad reality. So in that sense, I am very much indebted to my family for doing that, and I have utmost respect for every parent who fights for the dreams of their daughters, and don't tell them to compromise. Don't tell them that you are a woman, this is enough for you. So parents who do that and they don't listen to the society, they are.
And ma'am, luckily we have the parents, especially the fathers nowadays, who are ready to be the wing behind their daughters' wings. Ja beti ab bhar le apna udan. So what do you feel about those fathers? जो अपनी बेटी के लिए जा बेटी
They are absolute gems. They are absolute gems. Nothing smaller than that. They are absolute gems for
coming
any
straight
daughter.
from the heaven to our
Yes,
family.
Yes. Not
So,
just fathers, mothers are
mothers
also.
also, yeah.
When I have seen many mothers who come with their daughters and stay with them during their preparation phase, so that they have all the support that they need. and sometimes it is because the father or the other family members do not allow her to go alone to a city and study. So they leave everything that they are comfortable with and go with her to help her out. So there are two, winds beneath their wings, I would say.
Ma'am, we are coming towards the end of the discussion. Before I sum it up, maybe there are some students, कुछ बच्चे उधर भी हैं जो बैठे हैं, जो अपने सपने साकार करना चाहते हैं, वो भी उड़ान भरना चाहते हैं, 10 साल बाद वो भी एक आला अधिकारी बनना चाहते हैं जैसे आप बन चुकी है. So what will be your message for the girls, the future Chandni Chandrans in the making?
So I would want to tell you only one thing: have a dream and have a strong faith in yourself that you can achieve the dream. There will be a lot of people who will tell you that you won't be able to do what you want to do. You don't have the potential to do it. But you know deep in your heart that if you are able to dream something, you truly have the potential to be that. Everybody is not able to have big dreams. If you are able to have a dream which is big, which helps the society, it in itself is a proof that you have the ability to do it. So you have to be determined, you should never give up, and you should be satisfied only if you feel that you have reached your utmost potential.
আমাদের ছোট বোনেরা যারা ভবিষ্যতে পড়াশোনা করে একজন আইএএস অফিসার বা কোনো উচ্চ পদে আসীন হতে চাও, আধিকারিক হওয়ার ইচ্ছে যারা রাখো, তাদের জন্য ম্যাডাম যেটা বললেন, 3টে কথা আমি আবার রিপিট করি. 1, তোমাদের স্বপ্ন দেখতে হবে. 2, সেই স্বপ্নকে সফল করে তোলার জন্য ইউ হ্যাভ টু ওয়ার্ক হার্ড, তোমাদের প্রচণ্ড পরিশ্রম করতে হবে. আর 3, যেটা বোধহয় সবচেয়ে গুরুত্বপূর্ণ, তোমাদের আত্মবিশ্বাস থাকতে হবে যে আমরা এই স্বপ্ন সফল করে তবেই থামবো, হাল মাঝপথে ছেড়ে দিলে চলবে না. এটা হচ্ছে আসল কথা. ম্যাম, থ্যাংক ইউ ভেরি মাচ ফর বিইং হিয়ার. এই অঙ্গনের আঙিনায় আপনাদের পেয়ে আমাকে খুব ভালো লাগলো. আমরা অনেক কিছু আলোচনা করলাম, অনেক কথা আপনার শুনলাম. ইট হ্যাজ বিন আ ওয়ান্ডারফুল জার্নি from that you told me that from Kerala to Agartala, it's a long journey from that part to this part. Your father was LD clerk. He wanted his daughter to be an officer, and you made it happen. So our wishes for your career and our salutes to your parents.
Thank you, আমাকে অনেক ভালো লাগছে. Thank you so much.
দর্শক বন্ধুরা, এতক্ষণ আমরা আজকের এই অনুষ্ঠানে অঙ্গনার অঙ্গনে কথা বললাম. আমাদের সঙ্গে ছিলেন বিদ্যালয় শিক্ষা দপ্তরের অধিকর্তা আইএএস অফিসার শ্রীমতী চাঁদনী চন্দ্রন. আমরা আশা করব এই আলোচনা আপনাদের ভালো লেগেছে. বিশেষ করে উনি তার জীবনে এগিয়ে চলার যে গল্প বললেন, আমি আশা করব আমাদের যে বোনেরা, যে বন্ধুরা পর্দার ওপারে রয়েছে, তোমাদের নিশ্চয়ই অনুপ্রাণিত করবে, তোমাদেরও নিজেদের স্বপ্ন সফল করার পথে এগিয়ে যেতে অনুপ্রেরণা যোগাবে. সবাইকে ধন্যবাদ জানিয়ে এই অনুষ্ঠান শেষ করছি. ভালো থাকবেন সবাই. নমস্কার.